Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the Cryptoverse. Today, we're going to be doing an update on the bull market support band for Bitcoin. So if you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So it's a new week. We might as well provide an update. The bull market support band has been updated. The 20-week SMA has now slightly increased, depending on what exchange you use. It's now at $42,306. So it's still around 42K. The 21-week EMA is actually at 43,692. So in order for us to ever see those levels at the current prices, Bitcoin, just so you know, is about 18 or 19% above it as measured to the downside, above the 20-week, and about 14, 15% above the 21-week EMA. So we have a little bit of wiggle room at the moment, okay? And again, at these ranges, this is when altcoins generally continue to do well. As long as Bitcoin's not going parabolic or going back to the 20-week, this is when altcoins tend to do well. And one of the interesting things, again, is that the 20-week SMA is really starting to level off here, right? You can see it really hasn't changed from last week to this week. There hasn't really been much of a change, which I think is a good thing to see it starting to increase again. We like to see the 20-week SMA going up, because if it's going up, then it means Bitcoin is generally doing well. If the 20 weeks not going up, then Bitcoin recently hasn't been doing so great, okay? So again, it's starting to move up again very, very slightly. But we do have a ways to go for us to get back to, say, the 20-week SMA, getting back to where the all-time high for the 20-week SMA was, which coincidentally, if you didn't know this, the all-time high for the 20-week SMA is actually right around $49,000. So we were unable to get the 20-week SMA to 50K. That could be a fairly impressive milestone if we're able to get there at some point over the next few months. Again, it's not going to happen this month or anything, because we're gonna be spending a while just barely moving up and whatnot. But it will likely trend up over the long haul, and this is one we're gonna want to keep an eye on. Now, if we look at the log of the price over the 20-week moving average, we can in fact see that. And we look at, say, the extension from the from it. Again, we've held true to this downtrend line that we've drawn before. Again, these things are very dubious, but it's been working out so far. You can see this is where we peaked here, right here, sort of, right here. And then we had a double two close together over here. For us to get back to that level, we need to go up a lot. I mean, I think 20 or 30, probably around $30,000 at this point to get back to that level in the short term. But again, that's going to change every single day, right? Every single day. But I do just want to talk about, we did get that 3-month period in the market, at least so far. We had a 3-month summer lull in the market, and since then we've had a nice bounce back up to the upside. Now we're above the 20-week moving average, and I don't know if we're going to get a test of it. I think ideally within the next 1 to 2 months, it'd be nice to test it just to make sure we have that support. If we don't test it, then we run the risk of very likely not holding it when we do test it months down the line, right? That's what happened here. We held it as support here. We didn't test it for months, right? We tested it in October. The next time we tested it was the following May. This is not a good thing. Here, and we tested it in April. We did not test it again until the following September, right? When that happens, we tend to not hold it as support. When we hold it as support consistently, every few months, every 2 or 3 months, that's what leads to these sustained, slower moves, which everyone loves, right? Everyone loves these moves because it's nice to just see your portfolio steadily increasing over a long period of time. So I would say, ideally speaking, we would test it within 1 to 2 months. If we don't, we can still put in new all-time highs, I think, without testing it. But it would lead to some people wondering, okay, well, how long until we actually test it? I would prefer just to get it over with. Say, hey, we're going to test it, we're going to hold it as support, and then we're going to go up. That's what I would prefer. But I wouldn't bet anything on that, right? I mean, I don't think that you should, if you're sitting out on the market waiting for that to happen, you might be waiting 6 months for all I know, okay? There's things that we talk about what we would like to see happen, and then what actually happens can be an entirely different story, okay? I mean, I would have loved for us to test the 20-week over here some, to actually build out some better support before testing it over here and failing and dropping 55%. Like, that's what I would have preferred to happen. It didn't happen, okay? So we talk about what we might like to see happen, and I would say for me it would be a nice test of the bull market support band within the next 1 to 2 months. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Remember over here when we got above it, we actually didn't test it for a while. We just went sideways, sort of into it, but not really. Then we came up and then came back down to test it. What if that happens here? I mean, what if we sort of just go up and then we go sideways for a bit and then maybe we come back down later to test it? It could be a long ways off, okay? So the idea that you should just sit out of the market, you know, like the idea that you should never buy Bitcoin at these levels because you have to wait for the 20-week to hold a support, I feel like is just simply not true, right? When Bitcoin is bearish, that's the best time to historically buy it. And by buying Bitcoin over here, you're already up significantly from that time period. I mean, you're not up 2x yet, but you're not that far away from being up 2x. So I would say with Bitcoin, you know, right now we're at 51, 52K, and we're about 20% extended from the bull market support band. To go back to that level and hold it as support, I think would be incredibly bullish, right? I mean, if we went back to the levels of the bull market support band and held it as support, I think it would be so incredibly bullish. If we don't do it, then hey, we can still go up, no problem. It just means we're less likely to hold it whenever we test it later on. Okay, that's all it means. So if it means we go up to 90K or 120K and then test it, a higher probability we don't hold it. The higher probability that we hold it would lead to future higher probabilities of continuing to holding it when we test it in the future, as we saw back in 2017. Okay, this is what I would like to see personally. But again, we don't always get what we want. And if this cycle does continue to shape up to be like the 2013 cycle, then we really might not get it. I mean, you know, you can see here we just got above it and we didn't really look back. Okay, that is a great example of why waiting for the test of the, well, I guess we did get a wick here, but waiting for the test of the 20-week on the weekly time frame could really work against you if you're not careful. Okay, so again, when we're below the 20-week, historically, that's a great time to DCA Bitcoin. Buy when it's bearish. Look to maybe take profits when it's going parabolic. Bull markets make you money, bear markets make you rich. And the people that can stay disciplined and buy it when it's bearish are the ones that have the most to gain when it's bullish, because again, the people that bought Bitcoin over here are already looking at almost 2x. Okay. If you guys like the content, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Remember to check out the premium list at intothecryptoverse.com if you want access to weekly reports and videos, the trading view indicators that you guys see me talk about, the Into the Cryptoverse app, the risk metrics, and more. Thank you guys for checking it out. Subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. I will see you next time. Bye.